Imagine a land where gods walked among men, where towering pyramids pierced the sky, and the Nile River flowed as the lifeblood of a civilization. This is the story of ancient Egypt, a civilization that thrived for over 3,000 years, leaving behind a legacy that still fascinates the world today. But how did this civilization rise to such grandeur? What secrets did they unlock? And why, after millennia of dominance, did it all come crashing down? Join me as we uncover the rise and fall of ancient Egypt. Every great civilization begins with a foundation, and for Egypt, that foundation was the Nile River. Imagine for a moment you're an early settler in this arid land. Water is scarce, survival is tough. But then you find it, the Nile, a river so vast it brings life to the barren desert. The Nile wasn't just a river, it was a miracle. It provided water, fertile soil, and a means of transportation. The Egyptians even called it Iteru, meaning the river. It was here that the seeds of a great civilization were sown. Think about it, just as we rely on technology today to connect and thrive, the Nile was the technology of its time, connecting people, enabling trade, and fostering growth. It was the heartbeat of ancient Egypt. As the civilization grew, so did its leaders. The pharaohs were not just kings, they were considered gods on earth, chosen by the divine to rule the people. But being a pharaoh wasn't just about wearing a crown, it was about responsibility, power, and the burden of legacy. Imagine the pressure of ruling a kingdom where every decision you make could be the difference between prosperity and ruin. The pharaohs built temples, led armies, and left behind monuments that still stand today. But they also faced challenges: internal strife, external threats, and the ever-present will of the gods. The pyramids themselves are a testament to the pharaohs' power and ambition. They weren't just tombs, they were messages to the heavens, symbols of the pharaoh's desire for immortality. But with great power came great responsibility, and not all pharaohs were able to bear the weight of the crown. But ancient Egypt wasn't just about the pharaohs. It was a civilization built by its people: farmers, artisans, scribes, and priests. Life in ancient Egypt was a delicate balance of work, worship, and celebration. Imagine waking up to the sound of the Nile's gentle flow, the smell of fresh bread baking, and the sight of the sun rising over the horizon. Your day might be spent harvesting crops, carving stone, or recording the deeds of the pharaoh. Life was simple, yet deeply connected to the rhythms of nature and the will of the gods. Religion played a central role in daily life. The Egyptians believed in an afterlife where they would be judged by the god Osiris. They built their lives around this belief, creating elaborate rituals, constructing temples, and making offerings to ensure their place in the afterlife. But no civilization, no matter how mighty, is immune to decline. For ancient Egypt, the seeds of its fall were sown in its very success. As the empire expanded, it became harder to control. External enemies, internal conflicts, and the erosion of the pharaoh's power all played a role. Imagine a once great empire now struggling to maintain its borders, its culture, and its way of life. The Nile, once a source of life, became a source of division as the kingdom split into rival factions. The pharaoh's divine status began to wane, and with it, the unity that had held Egypt together for millennia. The fall of Egypt wasn't a sudden collapse, but a gradual erosion. By the time Cleopatra, the last pharaoh, ruled, Egypt was already a shadow of its former self. Her death marked the end of an era, and Egypt became a province of the Roman Empire. Yet, even in its decline, the legacy of ancient Egypt lives on. The pyramids still stand, the temples still echo with the prayers of the past, and the stories of the pharaohs continue to inspire awe and wonder. Ancient Egypt reminds us of the impermanence of power, the importance of legacy, and the enduring nature of human achievement. It's a civilization that, though long gone, still speaks to us across the sands of time. So, what can we learn from ancient Egypt? Perhaps it's the idea that, no matter how grand our achievements, they are only as lasting as the values and culture we leave behind. The story of ancient Egypt is not just the story of a civilization, it's a story of humanity itself. Thank you for joining me on this journey through time. If you enjoyed this video and want to explore more about the ancient world, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an episode. And let me know in the comments, what's your favorite part of ancient Egyptian history? Until next time, keep exploring the mysteries of the past.